There is only one perfect solution, but there are clues that will try to trick our team.
Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb, and today we're going to be taking a look at a nice little solo module, almost anyways, Bridges. So this module is a puzzle. It's based off of a Hashiki Wakakiro puzzle, sometimes known as Bridges in English. This is why it's called Bridges. So, what our goal is we're essentially going to be combining a series of bridges based off of these symbols that we have here, and they all must be connected into one, but they must be orthogonally based, not diagonally based, and that's the way that this is going to work. So, let's take a look at how this module actually works. So the rules for the bridge is going to be like so. And building bridges is going to be pretty straightforward. You select a symbol and they will connect, and then you select them again. There will be at most 2 bridges connected between each symbol, and then you can simply just keep going, cycling through them to unselect them all. So once you have your correct solution, you'll hit this check mark right here. And what we're going to do is they must begin and end at distinct islands, traveling in a straight line, like so. Distinct islands itself. They of course can go to different islands, but they must be they must not cross any other bridges or islands. So for example, right here we can't have this umbrella go all the way to this biohazard right here. That would just simply give us a strike.
Nice
like
guess,
so.
but that is not the answer, I'm afraid.
They may only run orthogonally. If we happen to do diagonally, for example, if this umbrella to this guy, not going to work. At most 2 bridges connect. At most 2 bridges connect a pair of islands. So if we had 2 here, for example, that was the most that we can have, and then simply it goes back to being no bridges at all. And the number of bridges connected to each island must match the number on that island. Now this is the part of the module that has to do with a little bit of an extra work, which we're going to be deciphering each of the symbols. We have the biohazard, we have the 3 cubes, we've got the fire, the glass, the recycling symbol, the snowflake, the 2 up arrows, and the umbrella. We must figure out what each of these symbols mean, because this is going to be giving us how many bridges must be connected to each other. So, how exactly we're going to be doing this? So the table below associates every possible symbol on the module with a number connecting to it, and we're going to be shifting the row of images to the left, wrapping around from 1 to 8 by the sum total of batteries of the bomb and the islands of the module. The islands are referring to each of these symbols present, that's what they're going to be referring to, and we're going to have the number of batteries and the islands on the module. So we have 1 battery. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So 11 plus 1 is going to be 12. And now we're going to modulo this by 8, which is going to give us a 4. And then we're going to be shifting the rows, shifting the images to the left by 4. Now, if there's an interactive with this, that would be nice. Bridges. Scroll back up, just give me a second. Nope, we'll just have to use our imagination. So we're going to be shifting to the left by 4 for each symbol. So let's take a look at this first one here. So we have the 2 up arrows. We're going to be shifting left 1, 2, 3, 4 to 3. And this is going to be how many bridges are associated with it. Now, one of the things that we can immediately do is we can immediately guarantee that there will indeed be 1 bridge connected to each of the down and right symbols to it, because we know for a fact that one of these bridges will have two bridges. One of these symbols will have 2 bridges, and one of them will only have 1. So this means that we can guarantee these guys to be connected to each other because there's 3 different symbols. Next up, let's take a look. Let's take a look at here. So we have the up arrows again, so we know for a fact that this has to be connected to this one. We don't know exactly which one is going to have the 2 bridges yet. It could be up arrows to biohazard and up arrows to up arrows, which we can do this guy again. There's 3 of them. Of course, it could be up arrow to up arrow, and then up arrow to cubes, and so on and so forth. So let's take a look. Now, taking a look here, we have the recycling symbol. The recycling symbol, we're going to shift to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is only going to have 1 bridge connected to it. And what this means is that this guy is immediately going to be connected to the up arrows here, because we know for a fact that we can't go up, because that would mean the bridges would intersect. We cannot have the bridges intersecting at all, and we know for a fact that it has to be over here. Based off of the clues given by the up arrow, we know for a fact that 3 bridges have to be connected to U and U, and we can't have any in between. So we know for a fact that this recycling symbol is going to be going to this up arrow. And speaking of up arrows, we said the up arrow was 3. We know for a fact that this is going to be going up here. However, we can guarantee that this is 2 bridges right here, because it needs 3 bridges connected to each other. We know for a fact that it could be 2 bridges right here, guaranteed, because of the fact that the recycling symbol was only a 1. This is a 3, and this cube symbol will be able to connect 2 bridges to these up arrows. Now, the actual cube symbol itself, 3 cubes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 bridges that we must connect to this cube symbol. And what this already means is that, taking a look, we have 3 orthogonally adjacent areas here. And what this already means is that, as you can tell, if you can do math, we're going to be connecting 2 bridges to each of them to get us our 6 bridges. And this symbol is already taken care of. And now, taking a look back, the up arrows have now been taken care of. The up arrow right here, up arrow was 3 here, so 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 3. This up arrow has been taken care of. So what this means is that we have 3 different bridges connected to this up arrow. So what this means is that this up arrow has to be connected to, has to have 2 bridges connected to here. And we're already taking care of a lot of good symbols right now. So, let's do that. Let's continue on. This is the little middle section, is the last little bit that we have to go through. Now, this up arrow, we remember that we have 3 different bridges connected to it, so we know for a fact that it has to be connected to the left and right at least once. We don't know which one's going to have the 2 bridges here. Let's take a look at the biohazard symbols. So, let's go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll give us a 5. Ooh, wow, okay. So we're going to have a 5 here, and what this means is that we're going to be at least connecting to this symbol as well. And then the 5 here is going to be connected to at least these 3. So we don't know which one's going to be the 2 bridge. Actually, we do. Hold on a second. We know for a fact that the up arrow was shifting left 4 to 3 symbols. So we know for a fact that these 3 symbols are already taken care of. So what this means is that this little bridge right here connected to the up arrow and the biohazard will not have 2 bridges. So we know for a fact that the other 2 are going to have 2 bridges. 2 plus 2 plus 1 will give us 5. And that biohazard symbol has already been taken care of. And actually, same thing here. The other biohazard has been taken care of. 2, 2, and 1. Just like that. And what this means is that the up arrow, if you're starting to see things come together, this up arrow here would normally have 3 bridges. And what this means is that we can't have this bridge connected to the biohazard because the biohazard already has the 5 symbols taken care of. So this means that this is going to be right here. And finally, for the umbrellas, the umbrella wants you to have 4, it starts at 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. It wants you to have 4 bridges connected. So what this means is that each of these umbrellas have 2 bridges connected to them so far. So what this means is that we're going to connect these 2 guys together, and we're going to get the other 2 bridges that we need for the 4 here. So, looking back, what we did was we essentially started at a good point. We have all 3 of these up arrows that were 3 bridges. We have 2 bridges here, 1 bridge here, 1 bridge here, 2 bridges here, 2 bridges here, 1 bridge here. Then we have the recycling was a really good starting point too. That was a really, really good starting point because this was actually worth only 1. And we know for a fact that it couldn't have been connected to this umbrella here based off of the clue given to us. And the bridges cannot obviously bridges must connect to the islands. Someone placed an island must be simply able to cross the bridge. We could not be able to get this bridge across because we would be attempting to break it. Break one of the rules. We simply just cannot do that. So everything looks good so far, and all of the rules have been followed for what the actual bridges are supposed to be for each island. Let's hit the check mark. And just like that is a solved module. All of the symbols turn green, and they actually turn into the numbers that they represented here. 5, the 5, the 4, the 3, so on and so forth. And that's pretty much what we're going to be doing with this module. It's a pretty straightforward module. All you really need to understand is how the bridges work. Basically, you can only do orthogonally. Orthogonally meaning up, left, right, down. No diagonals. They must not cross any other bridges or islands. Exactly. And all of them must interconnect. That's the big key with this thing. Is everything must connect to each other. The number of bridges, obviously, the number of bridges must have the number. Obviously, the number of island has to have the amount of bridges on it. But we must make sure that all of them are connected together in some way, shape, or form. Let's take a look at one final example here. This module is pretty straightforward. However, taking a look at some of the clues here can be a little bit tricky. Ooh, this one can be a bit interesting. There's a lot of symbols on here. Okay, so let's take a look. So we have, how many islands do we have? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 16 islands, so 16. We're going to add the number of batteries being 2, which is going to give us 18. And now we're going to modulo this by 8. So 18 modulo 8 is going to give us 10, then it's going to give us 2. And that's what we're going to be shifting to the left by. We're going to shift to the left by 2. So let's get this thing going. We have a lot of cups present on the module, same thing with a lot of recycling symbols. So this is going to be a bit interesting. So let's take a look actually at the cups first. Let's see how many we need to actually get here. So with the cups, we need to get 1, 2. That actually needs to just be 2. So I can't start with you because I don't know whether we could actually have 2 here, or 2 here, or just 1 and 1. We don't know for a fact that that's guaranteed. However, what I can start with is this cup right here. So taking a look down here, the only adjacent symbol that it is connected to, that would be able to connect to, is the snowflake. There is no left, there is no right, and there is no up islands that connect to it. So we know for a fact that this guy has to be the 2 bridges that it connects to. Now, this actually does help us a little bit because it actually helps us eliminate the possibility of these 2 cups going together. However, that doesn't really help us that much. So we're probably going to come back to these cups a little bit later on. Let's see what these snowflakes do for us. So let's go left 2 from the snowflake, 1, 2. That'll give us 4. Interesting. Now we can actually continue on going from the snowflake here. Since we have no left or down symbols, we know for a fact that the right symbol will be having 2 bridges to it, because of the fact that we already have 2 bridges from the cup here. So this is going to take care of that 4 for us. Now this snowflake, we don't know exactly what we can do with it. We have a down, we have a left, we have a right. We don't know if it's going to necessarily be all 3 of them, and then one of the bridges being 2. But we do know for a fact that this snowflake is taken care of. We can also take care of this snowflake here, because we only have a left and a right symbols, left and right islands that are connected that we can connect to. So this means that we will make the left island twice, 2 bridges here, and then the right island will be 2 bridges as well, just like that. Now, for the recycling symbol, let's figure out what these guys are, because that's going to be determining a lot of symbols on here. So the recycling symbol, we're going to go shift from 5 left twice to 3. So that means that there's going to be 3 different symbols present. And what we can do here, actually, taking a look down at the bottom here, we have 2 bridges already connected between this recycling symbol and the snowflake. So we've already taken care of 2 bridges. Now we can go up 1 more symbol, up to the other recycling bin, and we can do recycling symbol. And then what we can do is we can connect 1 bridge between that, giving us 3 bridges around it. Now, we don't know necessarily what to do with this symbol because of the fact that there is this little cup here. However, we can guarantee that this part of these 2 recycling symbols connected to each other is guaranteed to be a 1. Same thing with this recycling symbol over here. This is guaranteed to be a 1. Because we already have 2 bridges connected over here. We need 3 bridges for recycling bins. So we know that for a fact that these guys will have to be a 1 right here. Now, let's continue taking a look. We can take a look at this recycling bin up here. We know for a fact that it's going to have to be 1 to the left and 1 down. We don't know which ones are 2 bridge quite yet, but we can figure that out right there. So let's continue on. So let's take a look at that fire symbol. That fire symbol is on its own, which makes me believe it's going to be a 1, which I am correct. So the fire symbol starts at 3 right here. We're going to shift to the left twice, which gives us a 1. Now the only option of which we can actually go about this is connecting it to the cup right here. So that's a guaranteed option right there. Now another thing that we need to keep in mind, that everything has to be connected to each other. So we need to figure out how we're going to get this cup over here to Yeah, the bridges must connect to an island in a single connected group, i.e. someone placed on an island must be able to reach any other island. So, what this bit of a challenge is going to be figuring out is how we're going to connect some of these islands together. Oh, here we go. So, we figured out that the recycling bin, the recycling symbol was going to be 5, shifted left twice to 3. We know for a fact that we connected 2 right here, like so. So we know for a fact that we can connect 1 bridge right here to get us to a 3 for this guy right here. And now, what we can do for this recycling symbol, we already have 2 bridges connected here for this recycling symbol right here. So what this means is that this these guys will have to be the 2 bridge because we've already figured out what the 3 bridges for this symbol are going to be here. And we've already taken care of that guy. And same thing, we've already taken care of this guy. So we know for a fact that the snowflake will not be connecting to 2 bridges here. And then next up, we can continue on with the cup here. We can continue on with the cup. The cup was left twice to 2. We know for a fact that the only other option, the fire, was a 1. This guy has to connect down here to this recycling symbol because of the fact that this is the only option it has left. We cannot cut across bridges. We cannot, and we cannot connect 2 bridges to this fire right here. And we have to make sure that everything is interconnected. So, so we know for a fact that this cup is going to be connected to the recycling bin. And we know for a fact that this is going to be, this is not going to be 2 symbols, 2 bridges right here, because of the fact that we've already done 2 bridges connected to the cup here. 1 to the fire and 1 to the recycling bin. So what this means is that if we want the recycling bin shifting left twice to be 3, we're going to need to connect it to this recycling bin over here, like so. And now, what we know from this recycling bin is we already have 2 bridges connected to it, but remember, we need to make sure that everything is interconnected. All the islands must be connected to a single group. So we know for a fact that we're going to be moving up to this cup right here, and that's going to be good to go. We have 3 symbols for this little recycling bin right there. Recycling symbol, bin, whatever, I don't really care. So that's going to be guaranteed to be going up to the cup. Now, remember what we said? We're going to make sure that everything is connected. We want to make sure that we go up to this symbol here so we can connect everything here. It's going to be sort of like a little loop-de-loop almost. So we're going to be going up to this other cup right here because that's guaranteed to happen, and we know for a fact that everything has to connect. Now, I'm not going to leave this little cup alone in the middle here because we know for a fact that there is only 1 available option for it to go to. Cup was 2, so we know that there's going to be 2 bridges here because if we go left, that would interfere with the bridge. If we go right, that would interfere with the bridge. And if we go down, that would interfere with a bridge. So up is our only valid option here of which we can go. This is why we come back to symbols later on because that's going to make our life a little bit easier. And finally, remember what the snowflake was. The snowflake, shifting left twice, was 4. So we know for a fact that we already have 1 symbol connecting to the recycling symbol here. We have 2 bridges connecting to the cup and the snowflake. So we know for a fact that our last one is going to have to connect to this cup here. And there will be only 1 bridge because we already have our 4 taken care of. And just like that, this symbol is being taken care of with these 2 bridges here. So everything should be in its place. Everything's interconnected. There's no diagonals. And all of the bridges have the symbols that they are required to meet. So let's hit the check mark to see if we're right. And just like that is a solved module. So it's a little bit of back tracing, it's a little bit of waiting. This was a little bit of a trickier example because we had a lot of 2s present. However, there is always going to be a place where you sort of start the module, and it's going to be kind of going all over the place until you start to see the solution come to fruition. It's all going to start to come together, and just like that, we'll be done. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and have a happy holidays. Bye-bye.